Okay. Now, Bob, you're on. Relax.
I'm Bob Huback, the president of the West Pasco Historical Society. And I want to welcome you to the West Pasco Historical Society Dr. Rao Musunuru Museum and Library reopening and our ribbon cutting ceremony. I would first like to introduce the members of the board. Are we going to leave the ribbon where it is, or are we going to bring it up here? Okay. The members of the board. We have our chairman of the board, David Price. Would you acknowledge yourself? And Bob Huback, the president. First vice president, Terry Klein, who is out making an ice run.
Yay for Terry.
Second vice president is Sherry Huback. Recording secretary, Darlene Kane. Corresponding secretary, Martha Williams. Treasurer, Lisa Carey. Librarian, Dan Callahan. Curator, Danny Brooks. Director, Bill Akrig. Not here yet. Director, Annie Callahan. Director, Bob Langford. Director, Jeff Miller. Director, Betsy Robinson. And our honorary director, Rao Musunuru MD, who is not with us today, and I presume he's taking care of his primary responsibility, which is the health of his patients. We have some past presidents also with us. Norma Nelson, I believe, is here. No? Okay. David Price is a past president. Mitch Price. And Terry Klein, who's still running for us. Oh, we have another. That is not on my list, but the dignitary deserves mentioning. Judith Custos, who's the reigning Chasco Queen. I would also like to ask for a moment of silence to remember some members who died this year. The first being Julie Obenreeder, who was the first West Pasco Historical Society president and the namesake for the Julie Obenreeder Memorial Library Wing, which will be dedicated later this year. Past president David Spriggs, and a director, Jim Wright, who was the leading force behind today's events. And I know he's here in spirit. And we lost some other longtime members this past year, Jack Breland, Mary Toscano, and George Denise. May God bless them. At this time, I would like to ask Dan Callahan if he would give us an invocation.
Please take a moment and look to your left and right and see if you don't see that spark of divinity that each of us has. Spirit of life, in all things that we hold holy. This is a blessed moment when people have gathered to preserve our past and to celebrate our present and to look forward to our future. Thank you.
The presentation of the colors today will be by the Chester McKay VFW post. They will also do the Pledge of Allegiance and the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner. We'll will be by Lori and Casey Ray. Indian, give your command.
This time, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Present, I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for our national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we've watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran there, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Before we actually cut the ribbon, I would like to introduce some elected officials and also invite them to say a few words. Starting and be included in the ribbon cutting ceremony. I'm going to start with Don Rash. He's the aide to U.S. Congressman Gus Bilirakis.
Good morning. Unfortunately, the Congressman couldn't be here because of a prior commitment, but I'd like to read a letter on his behalf. Dear friends, I'd like to extend my sincere congratulations to you on the grand reopening of the West Pasco Historical Society, Dr. Rao Musunuru Museum and Library in Port Richey. I'm very glad that you were able to acquire the necessary funds through donations in order to save and renovate this wonderful museum. This museum will undoubtedly continue to be a valuable asset to our community for many years to come. Again, I send my heartiest congratulations to the West Pasco Historical Society on this exciting day. Best wishes, Gus M. Bilirakis, Member of Congress.
You'll leave that record for our historical files. Thank you. I have Mike Fasano, our state senator.
Good morning. I too would like to congratulate you and thank you for all that you do for our community and to the West Pasco Historical Society, the good work that you do in remembering the great history of Pasco County and throughout the state of Florida. To Dr. Musunuru, who does so much for our community and being recognized today and continues to be recognized for his good work here in Pasco County. The reopening, the grand opening of your library and museum. Good job. God bless you all. Thank you so very much.
Our state congressional representative, John Legg, have you arrived yet? Okay. Newport Richey Mayor, Bob Consalo.
Good morning. It's great to see all you folks here this morning for this grand reopening. On behalf of the City Council and the City of Newport Richey, I want to thank the board and all the volunteers for all the hard work you do. I know you do because when I was Parks and Rec Director, I got to work with you, Mr. Price, all the time, who wasn't afraid to ask for anything. And you do a lot with nothing. And I stopped by here about 2 weeks ago, see how things were going. And to believe that this would be done and ready to be open today is amazing. What I saw 2 weeks ago is not what you're going to see today. So, best of luck. It's great to have you reopening and look forward to many years of working with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Deputy Mayor Rob Marlowe.
Congratulations on your reopening.
Thank you. Councilwoman Jeannie Miller.
Many years ago, about this time on a Saturday morning, Clara Smith called me at home and said, "Ginny, you have to come down here and help us." And that started several years when time permitted of volunteering on a great board, working with great people. And to see this turn out the way it has makes me so proud of all of the volunteers, all of the board members, and all of the people who are interested in preserving the history of West Pasco. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeannie. Councilman Bob Langford.
Nice seeing y'all. I hope you enjoy the museum. Everybody's done so much work, and the city has been so kind to us, as well as the doctor. And so thank you all for coming, and I hope you enjoy many years of museum to come.
Councilwoman Judy DeBella Thomas.
Thank you. For many years I lived within walking distance of the museum, and I often came down with my children as young as in their baby carriages, and I applaud the vision that the folks had many years ago when they moved the building here, and I applaud all of you for working so hard to retain our collective memories in a place as beautiful as this. So thank you all, and all the very best to the future of this fabulous building.
Although not an elected official, I'm going to ask John Schneider if he would come up, or Schneider, I'm sorry, and say a word or two. Because we are deeply indebted to the city for their grants that enable us to get this building in shape.
Thank you very much, Bob. It's nice of you to say that. I think you've all done just a wonderful job. Since I've been here, I've been so impressed with the work of this organization. I've really never seen a historic organization that works as effectively as this one. Congratulations.
Thank you. Are there any representatives from Port Richey? Okay. This time I would like to ask School Superintendent Heather Fiorentino.
Well, thank you, and it's an honor. And I would be remiss if I did not, first of all, say thank you for also redoing Seven Springs School. So it is great that I remember going back and seeing it come through the trailers and having to move the lights, and now to see what you've done again as you regenerized our city, our community, and our history by what you've done this time. So I'm very excited. I can't thank you all enough. I know it's done by volunteers, but more importantly, it's done by hearts and compassion. It's your true love for what you do, and you've been doing it for years, and so I thank you all for everything that you do.
I also want to mention that there are some exhibits that are related to Heather Fiorentino's family, so make sure you see those. County Commissioner Henry Wilson.
Good morning, everyone. It's a privilege to be here with my wife and children. I wanted to make sure I brought my children with me because they're 11 and 7, and I want them to not only see where the county is going in the future with watching what we're doing, but I also want to see them to see where we came from, because it's very key to our future growth to know where we came from and to make sure we don't forget where we came from. So I'm very privileged to be here. I thank you for allowing us to join it, and I congratulate all you've done through all the volunteers and all the hard work to put this together. Thank you very much.
And I'm sure our Chasko Queen would like to say a few words.
What did you think? I'm a woman of words or something? So nothing like being taken by surprise. This is an absolutely phenomenal event. I've watched it, from when we were scrubbing walls and cleaning dust and junk. And it's just amazing, the volunteers that were here that got this done so quickly and so beautifully. The exhibits are just awesome. I can't wait for you guys to go inside and see everything. Congratulations to the board of directors and everyone that worked so hard. And I think this is going to be a great focal point for downtown Newport Richey.
Did I miss anyone? Okay, at this time, we're going to start the ribbon cutting. I'm going to ask our curator, Danny Brooks, to say a word or two, which you're going to have to come over here because I can't get the mic.
I think I can talk loud enough.
Okay.
Anyways, I think all of you could hear me. If you can't hear me, let me know by raising your hand. Okay, I want to thank all the people, whether they were behind the scenes or blood, sweat, and tears of this museum for the last 32 years. Everything that was donated from the beginning to as early as yesterday has been a wonderful asset to the museum. We thank you all, whether you came and helped us, whether you sent money in monetary support, or just prayed for us that we lived long enough during each of our work days to make it to the next one to get it ready for you. So at this time, I'd love to show you all the museum. I know it'll be crowded getting in the door to the air conditioning, but welcome!
I now declare the West Pasco Historical Society, Rao Musunuru M.D., Museum and Library open to the public once again for, I hope, another 30 years.
Or more. Good morning and afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is William Rutherford, and I'm the Director of Bands at Gulf High School. So we're going to be providing some music for you here in a little bit. We have our students that got up nice and early for you this morning, and we'll provide you some music as you enjoy this nice exhibit. I'm just going to do a real quick rundown of the students that are in our program that are here this morning. In our saxophone session, starting left to right, if I can see, we have Shane Gillen and Carly Campos, David Harris, and we have Savannah Law, and we have Nick Higginbottom, Rachel Hitchcock, and Kelsey Phillips on saxophone.
In the second row, we have Drew Eglin, and we have John Hoffaker, and we have Evan Moore, and Matt Dolding, sorry. And who else am I missing? Oh, and Sarah Abdallah. There we go, good. And then our trumpet section, we have Taylor Cook, and we have Tabby Zander in our trumpet section.